Charles Darwin's personal pet, tortoise, didn't die until recently. Okay, technically she wasn't his pet, but after his tour of the Galapagos Islands, Charles Darwin brought back a 5-year-old tortoise he named Harriet. She outlived her adopter by 124 years, ultimately making it to a whopping 176 years old. Harriet lived out her final years as part of the family of Steve crocodile hunter Irwin in Australia until she passed away in 2006. Victorians once used leeches to predict the weather. George Merriweather was a Victorian doctor and a fan of poetry. In fact, it was in a poem that he found the inspiration to build the Tempest Prognosticator, a kind of barometer powered by leeches. The 3-foot-tall contraption was as beautiful as it was intended to be useful. The brass and mahogany structure held 12 glass vials in place, each of which contained a single leech. If it was going to rain soon, the leeches would slither to the top of the vial. By the end of his project, Merriweather had grown so attached to his leeches, he swore that they had befriended him. Unfortunately, only a few of them were actually successful at predicting the weather. Others, he wrote, were absolutely stupid. Your funny bone is actually a nerve. The name funny bone comes from the humerus bone, which connects the shoulder to the elbow. However, that's not the source of the tingling sensation you feel when you bump your elbow just right. It's actually the result of the humerus bone coming into contact with the ulnar nerve, which is responsible for telling the brain about feelings in the ring and pinky fingers. The most requested funeral song in England is by Monty Python. A survey of funeral directors by Cooperative Funeral Care, per the BBC, found that the most frequently requested song to play at funerals in the United Kingdom is Always Look on the Bright Side of Life by Monty Python, from their irreverent comedy classic Life of Brian. It beat out Frank Sinatra's My Way. Research shows that all blue-eyed people may be related. At least they may share the same distant ancestor. After studying the DNA of blue-eyed individuals from Scandinavia, Turkey, Jordan, and India, Danish researchers found that they all had identical gene sequences for eye color. They believe this trait comes from a single individual, called the founder, whose genes mutated between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago. Before that, everyone had varying shades of brown eyes.